What's going on YouTube? Joe Miner 3131 back again with another DFS NHL slate breakdown for the main slate on Thursday, October 18th, 2018. You're watching JS Miner 87 and myself live right now on the DFS Quarry channel here on YouTube. So, with that being said, Jared, how you doing tonight? You ready to jump into this big slate?
Oh, yeah, a lot of action. Let's get right to it.
With that being said, we would have put out a video last night. We hung out here, waited around. YouTube was having some technical issues, whatever they were doing. So, hence the reason we didn't have a video for last night. If you guys are regular watchers on the channel, I'm sure you did okay tonight anyway on your own. So, first up, Colorado heading into New Jersey to take on the New Jersey Devils. We have an over-under of 6 here, and Jersey is a minus 135 home favorite. What do you like in this one, Jared?
All right, Colorado and the Devils. Really, this is really a toss. I kind of look at this, and they're kind of even matched teams. I give the defensive edge here definitely to the Devils side, but then you look at the penalty kill side from both sides. Both are top in the league, a 2 rank and a 3 rank in penalty kills. So I'm avoiding the special teams here. I like Travis Zajac and Miles Wood in this one. Third line there for the Devils. You look at some of the Avalanche, and the plus minus is really skewed on that third line a little bit. Yeah, I understand they're not going to get a ton of scoring chances, but, negatives tells you they're out on the ice for goals against. So I'm liking that third line at a low price tag for those two guys in particular. If I'm looking defensively here, I really like what Sammy Vatanen brings to the table. Expensive defenseman at $5,000, but he's averaging 3.88. And, if you're dropping in and getting the Zajac Miles Wood combo, you're certainly going to have the funds to put money into that position. Colorado here, yet you can take a chance with Ratnan, Tyson Berry at the defensive level here. But overall, like I said, I'm going to bet low on this one because I look at this as an uncertain kind of game.
I'll be honest, I didn't really get to dive into it before we got started here too much. But at a first glance, this game looks like a 3-2, 3-1 kind of game for me. Colorado will probably run out Varlamov in the net. Jersey will probably run out Kincaid in the net. Both have played pretty well this year. If I had to lean one side or the other, I'm a little on New Jersey side. I wouldn't mind a one-off of Palmieri. Wouldn't mind a one-off of Taylor Hall. I do like your Zajac and your Wood call there. And if I'm going to take anybody off of Colorado as far as a one-off would go, I think it would be McKinnon. I don't mind him at all. He seems to be pretty much part of everything that they're doing there in Colorado as far as offense goes. And if you want to take somebody from the defensive side, I wouldn't mind taking a shot on Sam Girard. He seems to be playing pretty well lately too. But as far as goalies in this one, I don't want either one of them. You could take probably either one in a cash game. But I look for a pretty stiff defensive battle here. Jersey tends to play a little slower, a little more poised, a little more calm. Really efficient, New Jersey is. So they can skate fast if they need to. I just don't see it here. Colorado being on the road, they're on a little bit of a road trip here. So that's pretty much all I got in this one. I really don't want the goalies at all. I think there's better places. And I really don't want to stack it up. I think I'd just pull one-offs off either team here. Nothing else on this one?
Just last thing there. According to Left Wing Walk, it is Grubauer in net for Colorado.
Okay, fair enough.
That's confirmed on their side.
Philip Grubauer.
That's all I have.
Apologize again. Like I said, I'm kind of just running right into this. I had a long day today at work, but either way, I still don't want no part of him either. Next game up on the slate, we don't have a line for. We got the Pittsburgh Penguins heading into Toronto to take on the Maple Leafs. I imagine we'll have. Do we have any word on Murray yet?
Last I looked, they just won the rest of them last game, so he should be a start for tonight's game. He's projected to start.
Okay. We'll break it down as far as that goes with Murray and net then. And I'm sure Toronto will run Frederik Andersen. But we'll pay attention to that. Kind of conflicting reports. I know the coach said he was going to be pretty much ready to go, but then I listened to an interview with Frederik himself, and it seemed like he was a little more hesitant as far as that goes. So we'll break it down with the understanding Andersen going. What do you like in this one?
This here one I think is going to actually be a high-scoring game. You've watched those that are close to the Penguins side, obviously the jersey says it all. For me, yeah, they've been working with lines. Certainly Sullivan looks like he's been displeased with the combos so much, but it's something the Penguins have always done. The first month of play, they come out sloppy and slow, and they do a lot of line changes. That being said, I'm wearing the jersey of the big play tomorrow, folks. Right here. That's right. Brian Rust bumped up to the top line, folks. I called it the other day. We were talking about it. I said they just need to suck it up. Put Brian Rust back up there with Crosby. He has the speed. You watch that game the other night. They couldn't even get the puck to Crosby for him to do his, dangles in the corner. So they put Rust back up there, and I think he is in play here, folks. Special teams, I don't know how much you want of special team play on here. Both teams have a pretty solid penalty kill, and both teams seem pretty disciplined, just under 3 penalties a game. Who do I like here? From the Pittsburgh side, I like Phil Kessel, what he's done on the year. I like Brian Rust at the price tag he comes into, bumping up to the first line. I think he's going to get some shots at least, but you get an assist there. Even if he's your utility player, you get 4 points out of him, you might be happy. I like Patrick Hornquist bumping down to that third line for the Penguins. I think they've put him on the wing of Brassard from the center. So I like Hornquist fitting into there. And you know what? It's been a kind of slow start so far for Brian Dumoulin. But you know what? At 3,400, he's getting 2.1 a game. I like Brian Dumoulin here to get a point. From Toronto's side, it's hard to ignore what Kasperi Kapanen's done, former Penguin product long ago. I like John Tavares, and defensively here, I like Jake Gardner for the cheaper price there. You could always throw in Ron Hainsey at his production of what he's done from a defensive standpoint as well. And for the sake of it, I think you even have to look at Malkin, as his production is pretty decent here as of late. Crosby, I'd probably wait a while. His price is just too much, and he's uncertain right now, and they're messing with his combos. Maybe Gensel's in play here, but I don't think you take the price chance here with Crosby in a cash game at least. And goalie-wise, I'm not liking either of these guys either.
Yeah, I don't want either goalie in this one. The Penn side, them moving Rust up. I got some interest there now in Rust, which I did not have before. I'm with you. Crosby's a little expensive for me. I'd rather pay down to Malkin, pair him up with Phil Kessel, and I do like Letang. I would look at Gensel possibly, but for me, it's really concentrated for myself with Malkin, Kessel, and Letang. I will take a shot on Rust, though. Toronto side's the big guys. I like Matthews, Tavares, Marner, Kapanen, Riley, and I do like Ron Hainsey too. And again, no goalies here at all. This could be pretty high scoring here. You could see a 5-4, 6-5, something like that in this game. That's pretty much it for that game. Your obvious plays, really. Do you want to move on?
Yes, sir. Let's move on to the next one.
Next game, we got Philadelphia Flyers heading into Columbus to take on the Blue Jackets. We got an over-under of 6 in this one. And Columbus is a minus 130 home favorite. What do you like here?
This here's another really good game stack, I think. You got both teams here giving up around 4 goals a game. Let me just see if I got my left wing look here. Brian Elliott, Bobrovsky. Both have had a subpar year with save percentages under 90%. So I think you got some great plays on both sides here. Who I have pinpointed here, Claude Giroux and Jacob Voracek. Great price tags too for being first liners here. You got a 5,700 and a 5,500. And you seen what they done the other night. They're in play, and they're actually at the cheaper end of a first line pairing here. So you got a lot of salary room, to just spend up on that defensive side. I look and I say defense can really make or break lineups too. You get a lot of forwards. A lot of people run the usual suspects in forwards, and you tend to see where the defense can be the difference of a win, that edge of the money line here. Looking at Columbus's side here, I like Nick Foligno, I like Cam Atkinson, and I like Zach Werenski. But all three of those guys, you look, both of these power penalty kill guys are in the bottom 5 or so in the league here. So definitely power plays are in line, and I would want to pair, if you're going to play either side, make sure they're on that power play for each side too. And that's why, the guys I mentioned are in play. Cheaper play here would be Anthony Duclair too. He's a nice guy that might be in play as well. And one guy I did like to mention so far of what he's done is Robert Hagg, defenseman from Philly. 4,000 price tag, 3.67 points. Great production there and a fair price. You can always get Gus to spare if you want. He's a little bit higher end price for a defenseman, but he's certainly a DFS producer as well. Goalie wise here, I'm staying away from him. I think you got a good GPP play if you really thought this was going to be one-sided. I just don't see how anyone can think this game's going to be a one-sided game, though, honestly. I didn't get the chance to look at home and away records here. Perhaps Columbus has a little edge, as I think they're home. Let me just make sure. Yeah, Columbus is at home, so maybe give them a little bit of edge and play Bobrovsky in the GPP if you'd want. But, yeah, cash game, I'm away from these.
If you could possibly game stack this up. I don't want either goalie here either. Both team has pretty good special teams. Your power play is pretty good. As far as the Philadelphia side, for me, I'll be focusing on Giroux and Voracek. Gustafsson, I like him too. I like your call on Hagg. Columbus side, I'm liking Panarin and Atkinson, really, are the two for me. But I do like Josh Anderson. I think his name is Josh Anderson. Yes, Josh Anderson off the third line right winger. Take a look at him. I don't know what his price is, but probably a little cheaper than them right wingers off the first two lines anyway. So you could take a look at him. That's pretty much it. I mean, this game's a little tougher for me to figure out. That's pretty much all I got on that one. Anything else?
Now let's move on to the next one.
All right, next game. We got the Detroit Red Wings heading into Tampa Bay to take on the Lightning. We got an over-under of 6 here. Going to all be scored by Tampa. And Tampa is a minus 280 home favorite. What do you like in this one?
Yeah, I think you're really right on the Tampa side of things here. News, just by looking at latest line combinations, shows that they finally gave up on Anthony Mantha being a first liner, and latest stats show him coming in at the fourth line. So he's a minus 10 on the year. So they do not want him getting ice time. So, we tell you what picks to make. We'll also tell you which ones not to make there. For a fourth liner at 4,400, he's certainly not worth that. Yeah, I like power play line combos here, just because Detroit has played. I just don't think they've played anyone quite the caliber of Tampa Bay yet. I seen they got thumped by Montreal the other night. And that just really goes to show you what Tampa Bay can do to them. I think that Tyler Johnson's certainly in play. You seen what he done the other night. I unfortunately didn't get to own him. I think you were on the win side of that one at a 5,100 price tag. Hello, we'll take that to the bank any day of the week. Another guy I like, a little bit lower, probably a lower visibility to fantasy owners, is Alex Killorn. Alex Killorn, defenseman there. He's got some production on that defensive side, a little bit of potential upside. I think he is. No, I'm lying to you here. He's on the first power play, but third line winger. My fault there, and I think Vasilevsky's in play here, especially in a cash game. Not so much GPP. I'd have to look and see what Detroit is doing shots per game wise. I do think they have maybe low 30s, high 20s shots per game. So potentially even in a GPP, Vasilevsky could, be a GPP play as well. And you know what? The thought of a shutout isn't out of the realm of thought in this game either, for Tampa Bay. Like I said, Detroit side, I would look at Darren Helm in order to make room for the loss of Mantha on that first line. They did bump up Darren Helm, so you're going to get a lot of minutes for a 3,200 price tag. So if you really need a low player, I think he could be your guy. And also, I do like what Philippe Hronek brings to the table, a 3,800 cheap defenseman from Detroit that, has that 6 games, 3 points on the year. So he does have a bit of offensive ups play as well. But Mitch said it best right there. I can't agree more, Mitch. Stack Tampa Bay. It's probably going to happen.
Yeah, you, me, and everybody else too. I don't want anybody from Detroit. 9 games, there's no reason to look at them at all. Tampa Bay, for me, it's going to be their top power play unit. I think is where I'm going to go with this one. I think they're going to get some shots on the power play here. We could probably see, a good 5, maybe 6 times. We'll get the top power play unit out there. And I'm going to focus most of my lineups will have Kucherov, if not all. I mean, Kucherov might be a lock as far as that goes. I do like the Johnson call. I did have him the other night when he got his hat trick. I like that. I wouldn't mind taking a shot on him either. But I definitely like that top power play unit. And I like Vasilevsky, and I wouldn't mind him in any kind of a format, but definitely in a cash game. I don't know how highly owned he'll be in a GPP. there are some big name goalies out here too with Kincaid, Bobrovsky. Everybody knows playing well too. Anderson's a pretty big name if he gets to call in the net. So yeah, I like this game, man. But it's only the Tampa Bay side, primarily the top power play unit, and I do like Vasil in the net. So that's all I got from this one. Anything else?
Nope. Let's move on.
All right, next game. We got Vancouver Canucks heading into Winnipeg to take on the Jets. We got a 6.5 over-under, and we got Winnipeg as a -215 home favorite. And it does not matter what Vancouver does. They're getting no respect whatsoever. What do you like here?
Oh, man. Coming after yesterday, Hellebuck crushed my dreams there. Up 4-1, and they end up losing. Big David's just crushing anyone. Yeah, I'm fading this game, to be honest with you here. It's a risk kind of play for me. I could see, obviously anyone that follows the NHL knows the potential for scoring for Winnipeg is there. If you're going to play anyone, Blake Wheeler, Patrick Laine, maybe even Nikolai Ehlers might be a nice little play there, but I'm just heartbroken. Maybe even first line to Brock Bozer and Bo Horvat could be in play, but a 5,200, 5,900, or 5,200 and a 5,700 price tag, I'm not taking them. If I take anyone in this, I might upsell on the defenseman Alex Edler, 5,800, but he's getting 5.67 points a game. I played him the other night. He got great point production as well. He's the only one I'd be consistently saying either way side of things, he's going to get me that 4 to 5 points as a defenseman. I'll take it, and I'll shortchange on the forward line somewhere. But yeah, I'm fading this game really.
I'm not totally against that. Do we know who's going to be in the net here? Is it going to be Markstrom and Hellebuck?
As of 10 hours ago, Nielsen and Hellebuck is the latest projections.
I think I like the Winnipeg side here. Vancouver, although I do respect him, it just seems to come from different places every night. You can't really pinpoint where it's all gonna come from as far as scoring goes. So it makes me a little nervous with them. Not that I don't think that they can play with the Jets here. I do think they can. I do think they can score on them. But I think my interest, which is little, not a whole lot, will be on the Winnipeg side of this. I like their top line, especially Kyle Connor. I like him. He doesn't have no assist yet on the year, but he's getting almost 20 minutes ice time, $6,100, 16 shots on goal, 3 goals and a block. I'm okay with him. I like the second line a lot. I like pairing up Ehlers with Laine. Both fairly reasonable, around 5,100, 6,500 for Laine. Winnipeg is not very expensive, so I think they're in play. You could probably stack them up here. I like Josh Morrissey from the defense. I like Jacob Trouba too. I think both those guys are in play. And Tyler Myers also at 3,500 has been playing well lately too. So I think he's in play. I don't want any of the goalies here. I think it's all Winnipeg for me on this one. Is that all you got?
Yes, sir.
Next game, we have Arizona Coyotes heading into Chicago to take on the Blackhawks. We got an over-under of 6 here. And we got a minus 130 home favorite for Chicago. What do you like here?
Well, this is an interesting game, actually. I always say Arizona's going to score more than they do, and let's just face it, maybe I'm wrong forever. But I see Mitch is watching the Calgary game. Yeah, Boston got a goal reversed on a coach's challenge. Offsides still remains 3-0. So Calgary certainly cruising out front. Mitch, if we had a video last night, I was telling Joe there yesterday, Boston only scoring 2 goals a game on average on away. You know, it seems like teams know who to pair against Pasternak and Bergeron to slow them down. But going back to this game, it's the return of Corey Crawford. First game since last December is projected for Chicago. Last game, I think he gave up 3 goals on 7 shots when they took him out of that concussion game. So he's certainly looking for a better result. Chicago side, I do believe Chicago will win this game. Hands down, the production that they're seeing from their old Stanley Cup players, Jonathan Toews, Patrick Kane, even Brent Seabrook, those guys have been on a tear. Add in Alex DeBrincat, who's having a phenomenal year. Those guys are all in play. Actually, and you know what? I haven't given them credit. I know you've mentioned them on your angle there, Joe. Henry Joki Harju coming out, playing great puck. Playing great with the puck at that defensive side for Chicago. So I like him as well. And then, you know what? For Arizona, if there is a play, I would do a mini pair on them with Richard Panik and Derek Stepan. Stepan is a shot hog for sure. And there is a potential for a power play goal here as Chicago just, you know, their penalty kill is 64%. So there is a chance of Arizona getting a power play goal. I certainly wouldn't have that in a cash game play. Probably wouldn't have anyone in Arizona in a cash game play unless I wanted to give my money to charity here for the other DFS watchers. Goalie-wise here, I'm not going to take a chance on Crawford till I see what he does. But Antti Ranta, he's always in play. Usually he only gives up 1 or 2 goals and an empty net or so. But I would think Antti Ranta's in play here in a GPP. Definitely not cash either. But that's all I have on this one.
Well, mine's short and sweet. As far as that goes, Arizona, I want nothing. I'm not getting on that with you, man. They got to prove something. I mean, something. Nothing, dude. I don't want Ranta. I don't think he's in line for the win. I like Chicago on this one. I like the top line here. And especially if you're playing on FanDuel, I definitely like the top line of Chicago here because these prices, I mean, you almost have them dead even, 6,400 on DraftKings, 6,300 on FanDuel. Jonathan Toews, that was on Alex DeBrincat. Jonathan Toews is actually more expensive on FanDuel, so I might stay off him on FanDuel. But again, you got, you know, DraftKings is normally a little better pricing as far as what the guys are capable of. It's more, they do a better job pricing as far as that goes. So you have a lot more flexibility on FanDuel. So if you're playing on FanDuel, definitely take a look at Chicago. But I like the top line, DeBrincat, Toews, Cahoon. I like Patrick Kane. I don't mind a little bit of Nick Schmaltz. Really don't want to go below the second line. I like Duncan Keith, Joku Harju. I believe he's a rookie this year, man, but he's getting 21 minutes of ice time. On FanDuel, he's only $3,900. He's $5,600 on DraftKings, but only $3,900 on FanDuel. So he's in play on FanDuel for certain. That's a major price discrepancy. You can't let that go. I mean, he's almost a lock for me on FanDuel as far as that goes. And I don't want any part of the goalies here. I'm going to take a wait and see approach on Crawford. Make sure it's not all hype. That's all I got on this one. You got anything else?
Now, just going back to Mitch's point on the chat there, yeah, Arizona's like best production on a defensive side has been Nicholas Hjalmarsson. Comes in at a cheap price point. I think he's like 2,900 there. I think he is. Yeah, 2,900. He's getting 2.2 on the year. So I don't see him in play from the Arizona side. Not in this slate, maybe in a 2 or 3 game slate, but not this one.
Arizona does have a good defense, but you can't ignore the amount of goals that Chicago's putting up in this year so far. It can't be ignored. It's not like it's just a game here or there. They seem to be doing it fairly consistent. So I do like Chicago here. I think they're not getting any love either around the industry yet, but they will. Next game, I don't have a line for. We got Boston. They're going to be on a back-to-back heading into Edmonton to take on the Oilers. Could we possibly see a spark from the Oilers after their come-from-behind win over the Winnipeg Jets last night, which really pissed me off, man, to be honest with you? What do you like in this one, Jared?
Just one off McDavid. I'll say it right now. One off that dude. He's like the first NHL player in like history to have a point in all 9 goals that their team has scored. He's been involved in every single goal Edmonton's had this year. It's crazy. The dude is just ungodly. And even Crosby just said himself that that McDavid is the best player in the world right now. And the way you watch him, he is phenomenal. That's really the only play I want from the Edmonton side here, just because of their price. Draisaitl at 5,200. They're all just kind of unreliable at this point in my eyes. Nugent Hopkins, maybe you pair, I guess, and run a Nugent Hopkins with a McDavid. But if I'm doing the Edmonton side, I'm only doing 2-person max with definitely McDavid involved. And I think I'm just always going to want off McDavid in that utility slot and figure out where the points I want elsewhere are. Boston side, they're away again. And if they're playing like they are today, they haven't scored yet. They are playing an Edmonton team that is quite bad. With the only thing that's a bright spot's McDavid, So Boston, I'm taking the usual suspects for Boston here. I'm liking Brad Marchand, Patrice Bergeron, maybe Krejci to save money. I love McAvoy, what he's doing, 5 points or 6 points in the past 2 games. Hard to ignore that prog. Production, 5,200. He's even probably 400 to 500 cheaper than the top elite defensemen. Do I want an in-depth play here from Boston? Maybe this is even a game where you see Backes come out and do something. I'm not quite sure on that. But, yeah, I'm Boston all the way here. I'm probably, after last night's debacle, I'm not going to play whoever Boston puts in net for that game tomorrow, and I'm certainly not playing the Edmonton goalie here. But that's where I'm at. This is McDavid's game again.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'll start with the Edmonton side. Give me Connor McDavid. That's it. I don't want neither one of their goalies. Probably going to be Cam Talbot, but if it's not Talbot and it happens to be their backup, I think it's Niskanen or something like that, I don't want him either. For me, the Boston side, it will be the usual suspects. For me, it will be their top line. I do like them. Marchand, Bergeron, Pasternak. Don't mind Jake DeBrusk. Krejci. I don't mind him at all. I kind of like David Backes with you. I like McAvoy, like you said, but I also like this Kevin Miller, man. He's cheap, 3,300, getting almost 20 minutes of ice time. He's got an assist, 8 shots, and 8 blocks on the year. I wouldn't mind him at all. If you need another cheap one, John Moore, he's getting about 17 and a half minutes of ice time. He's got 12 shots on the year with 3 blocks. So relatively cheap. You know, John Moore's at 3,400, Miller's at 3,300 on DraftKings. Both those guys are in play. And it looks like it'll probably be Yaroslav Halak in the net. I don't know if that's they announced that yet or not. If it is Halak, I got some interest there. I mean, if Edmonton scores, it's going to be from McDavid. I wouldn't even mind playing them two in the same lineup against each other. Nobody's going to do that. Nobody's going to take the negative correlation there. So I won't mind doing that and then jumping on that Tampa Bay game with that chalk and just letting myself be differentiate my lineup just by playing McDavid against Halak in the same lineup. I'm not against that. But other than that, I mean, that's pretty much it from that game for me. Definitely no Talbot or whoever they're going to run in Edmonton. You got anything else here?
Yeah, I really like that. I like the Halak price tag at 7,500, and he is slated to get start. He's been phenomenal this year, actually. He should be the starter. But another thing, I bet Kevin Miller leads the league in blocks. 8 blocks already. Man, that's great.
Cheap, too.
Yeah.
I ran him out tonight. I don't know if he did anything or not. I haven't checked, but they don't have a problem with him at all. You ready to jump into this next wonderful one?
Yes, I am.
All right, next game up. We got the New York Islanders heading into Los Angeles to take on the Kings. Are the Islanders on a back? The Islanders are on a back-to-back in this one. I think they started Grice tonight, so we'll be getting Robin Leonard in the net for the Islanders, and we should be getting Jack Campbell in the net for Los Angeles. But we got an over-under in this game of 6, and we got Los Angeles as a minus 175 home favorite. This should be filled with goals. We should at least be able to see a 2-1 game here. What do you like here?
Yeah, I was just about to start this off with take the under. I don't know how they get 6 here. Usually I thought this is a surefire 5.5. But this is just LA hasn't scored on the power play yet this year in 21 attempts. Crazy numbers there. And then you're going up against a penalty kill that's actually near the top of the league in the Islanders. So easy to say. Stay off the LA Kings power play. Don't get caught up in stacking that. I have no problem stacking that first line against Robin Lehner. There is talent there. This is going to be a late slate game, so I wouldn't mind having some interest in Ilya Kovalchuk and also have interest in – where is he at? Not Doughty. Drawing a blank here. Who the heck am I looking for? Kopitar. Sorry about that. Kopitar. He's been slow off the start. He's actually only getting 2.75 points a game at a 6,300 price tag. But if there's any game that I would think he's going to go off on, I might think it's against the Islanders here. And on home ice, I really like that kind of pairing. Now, looking at it from the Islanders side, Josh Bailey as a good play. You're getting some production at a cheap price here. On the right wing side, I'm not sure who he pairs up with. Casey Cizikas, real cheap play there. 3,000. He's getting 3.5 points. So he's a good play. Other than that, maybe Anders Lee. Anders Lee is another good one, from a DFS perspective of how they fared so far this year, but I'm really not liking them even in the late slate. I'm saying that's a GPP play tops. Actually, my next game that we go over is probably going to be the one I'm hyped on in the late slate. But that being said, I do have a bit of interest in goalies here. Lehner is capable of a shutout, so I don't want to ignore that. And Campbell's capable of a shutout, so I don't want to ignore that. So I like LA Kings for the win here, and I really wouldn't be against playing Campbell.
I'll start with saying that, yeah, I think that both goalies could be in play here. Don't know how many shots they're going to see. I think Campbell might end up seeing more shots than what Lehner will. As far as the Islanders side goes, I like Barzal and Bailey paired together because they run on that second line together and they also run on that top power play unit together. I kind of like them, and I don't mind their price tag. Barzal is only $5,900 and Bailey is only $4,500, but I think that's all I want from here for the most part. As far as the defense goes, I think, let me check here. He is. Nick Leddy is $3,900. Now, he runs on the first power play unit, and I believe he's top line defense in the defensive pairing too at $3,900. So you get a double dip there with him for $3,900. I wouldn't mind taking a shot on Nick Leddy. The LA side, I'm not a big fan of what LA is doing here. They play it's pretty rare for LA to score more than 3 goals. Most of the time it's like 2 goals, and they play a lot of defense and a lot of takeaway and keep away. That seems to be their motto over the past few years. But being at home here, Kopitar, he's in play. He's getting ice time too. And off that first line, man, he's the only one getting the ice time. Iafolo is only getting 15 minutes of ice time. And then Toffoli is only getting 17 minutes of ice time. So I'm not really, whatever, into that too much there. Kovalchuk on the second line, $5,900, getting 19 minutes ice time. This cat has 2 goals, 2 assists, 19 shots, and 2 blocks on the year. It's not going to take too long before we get the old Kovalchuk back here, man, and he takes over this team and runs with it. Because, in my opinion, he's the best player on the Kings. I know Kopitar is good, whatever. Kovalchuk is better, man. He's playing incredible, and he's only going to get better. Defensively, Doughty's a little expensive for me, but he's on the ice almost 27 minutes a game. 2 assists, 7 shots, 10 blocks on the year. You could take a look at him, but that is a little expensive for me as far as defense goes. I'd be more apt, if it was me, to drop down here and take a look at Alec Martinez instead. He's $4,500 and getting 21 minutes of ice time. He's got 2 assists. He's got 4 shots, and he's got 11 blocks. So he's almost $1,000 cheaper, and he's got 1 more block, but he's minus 3 shots on the year so far behind Doughty. So I would take the savings and run with him there. And like I said, with the goalies, they're both pretty much in play. Either one of them could post a shutout here, but I don't look for a very high-scoring game. This 6 is definitely an under for me, and that's pretty much all I got on that one. Got anything else?
Nothing on that one.
Next game up, we got the Heartbreak Kids of Buffalo heading into San Jose to take on the San Jose Sharks. We got a 5.5 over under here, which this confuses me here again. And then San Jose a -215 home favorite. It's the over-under that's got me a little confused. Not so much San Jose being such a large home favorite. I believe they should be. What do you got here? We should have Carter Hutton, and they're going to start Martin Jones tomorrow.
Those are the projections. Yep. Carter Hutton, Martin Jones.
All right, good. What do you like here?
Well, just providing an update on today's games there so the fans can know I am now first in my triple up and 8th in my other main slate triple up due to that goal from Anaheim just now. Kessler, assisted by Raquel and Street. I am playing Street, low dollar play, third line, but, you know, he's that third liner that can get some production. So, you know, good play. But let's go back to this game here. Give me some Buffalo. I know that's our mantra, it seems, but this power play is going to see some time. This is an undisciplined San Jose team. I think they might even top the league in penalties a game, averaging almost 5 penalties a game. You know, probably part of the reason why they're under 500 here. But listen, that Buffalo team is capable of scoring on goals on that power play. So first, that's an interesting play. I didn't know they moved. I didn't think Connor Sherry was first power play, but they have him on the first power play. But not sure that'd be my first take here. I like Jack Eichel. I like Sam Reinhart, and maybe even Kyle Okposo just because you kind of break it out. You know, I think Okposo is that second line. But then on the first power play, I kind of like an Okposo with Eichel combo. Ristolainen, I like what he provides. I'm not going Dahlin on this one. I'd rather go Ristolainen in this game. He is. Let's see what he's at 5,100. Dahlin's at 4,100. I think the extra production is going to be worth it tomorrow. So that first power play line for Buffalo, believe it or not, even though they're away, I think Buffalo wins this game. I think it's going to be a close game, but I think Buffalo wins this game. From the San Jose side of things, let's see. Let me just get a plus-minus look here. Yeah, I mean, first line San Jose is in play against a team that first line's been killer. Buffalo, the plus-minus still is pretty ugly for that top line in Buffalo. So I don't think in a late slate you can probably play that Couture, play that Pavelski kind of pairing. I even like Thomas Hertl. Definitely Hertl's having a great year. That's probably why his price is bumped up. I don't always remember him at 5,700. Timo Meier, his production's been there, and that's why his price is at 5,500. Great play there. Another defenseman that I like the kind of production. Well, wonder when that game was that Bogosian played. Let me see if he's back in the. No injuries. Just want to. Yeah, Zach Bogosian played one game, third line defensive pairing, and got you 2 points. And that must have just been shots and blocks. So maybe Zach Bogosian's going to be back in form. Bergeron just scored in the Calgary game. But, yeah, I like Carter Hutton here as well. And I think he is at least deserves a look. If you can't find a goalie, I think he could provide a solid option. I'm staying away from San Jose's goalie. It's Martin Jones. And sometimes I say you got Jones because he's the type of goalie where it seems like he's letting you down a lot.
Well, I kind of like this game here. We could see some goals here too. Maybe not, but I think we could see some scoring here. I'm with you. I like the top line of Buffalo here, but for me, I don't think I would just go top line Buffalo. I think I'd go the top power play unit here from Buffalo. I really think I would concentrate my stack with Jack Eichel, Sam Reinhart, and pair him up with Ristolainen, the defenseman. I like that. that three-man pairing right there. If you want to go a little bigger, you could throw in Connor Sheary or Okposo. I wouldn't have a problem with either way going there, man. I do like Dahlin, though. I think Dahlin is a very formidable defenseman. And at 4,100, you got some potential scoring there, too. He's getting almost 20 minutes of ice time. So that's not a bad call. He is 1,000 cheaper than Ristolainen, too. So I wouldn't mind that, and I wouldn't talk you off of that if you were interested in Dahlin. I don't think I want either goalie here. If I did, it would be a GPP play only for me. So I wouldn't mind that. And as far as San Jose goes, these cats burn me constantly. I can't ever get them right. I don't know really what I would want to do here. I would have to dig into these guys a lot more. I think you could probably take a shot on their top power play unit also. I guess they're a little cheaper than I thought they would be. That's not too bad. I'm not sure about Carlson or Brent Burns here, man, but them guys have got to get it together here at some point. I don't mind Pavelski. I don't mind Evander Kane. Couture's getting the ice time. He's at over 20 minutes of ice time. Carlson and Burns are both. You got Burns at 24, Carlson at 26 minutes ice time of a game. I don't mind them guys. Hurdle at almost 20 minutes a game at 5,700. I think he would be in play. Vlasic at 23 minutes of ice time for 4,800 on the defensive end. He could be in play. I don't want Jones at 8,000 or Dell if he starts. I think you said it's going to be Jones. I definitely don't want him at 8,000 though. That's craziness. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I think I'd take the top power play unit and ride with it from there. Not sure I want to pay up for the defenseman though. I think I'd rather play Vlasic defensively over Carlson and Burns. That's pretty much it, man. I mean, that's last game on the slate. Anything else?
Now let's move on to the game. I think this was a fantastic breakdown.
All right, let's do the game then. Oh, you know what? Before we move on there, Donskoy. I just noticed that. He's in play. He's only getting 13 minutes of ice time, man, but he's efficient. He's got a goal, 2 assists, 8 shots, 2 blocks on the year. He's 4,000, so don't rule him out either. Off that third line right winger. But yeah, let's go into the game. What do you got here for your diamond stack, man?
I think we're going to play the chalk on this one, but if I think they're a diamond stack, I got to play the chalk with them. I'm going that second line, Tampa Bay, straight up. Not a power play. I'm going second line straight up from Tampa. Andre Palat, Tyler Johnson, Nikita Kucherov. I'm expecting a pretty big game from Kucherov tomorrow, actually.
That's a pretty good call. I don't mind that. Chalk. Why not? Just jump all over it, right? Well, if you're going to play the chalk, I'll play the chalk too, and I'll play it straight up as well. Give me Pittsburgh's line 2, Malkin, Kessel, Hagelin. Snowflake stack.
This one's a little tricky because I'm almost like, is Detroit's line 1 good enough to even be considered like a diamond stack at this point? But I'm looking across of like a line 1 kind of bust. You know what? Give me that first line, Vancouver, the Bo Horvat, Brock Besser line. I don't know if Pettersson's not even on this road trip, I think Yinzer said. So, yeah, without Pettersson, that line's suffering. So, give me line 1 Vancouver for the Snowflake.
Yeah, I like that call too. I can't see it. I really don't have much choice here, I guess. I got it narrowed down to two. I'll tell you my two would be obviously Detroit, but I don't want to take them either. I'm with you on that. I think that's cheating. So I will take the New York Islanders, line one, Anders Lee, Brock Nelson, Jordan Eberle, which I don't think that should be their line one anyway, but it is. That's what they got listed as their line one. So I'll take them. New York Islanders, line one. What do you like for your Boulder Award here? I think we got some options at this one, actually.
You know what? This is going to be a rare one, but I'm going to do it. Give me Yaroslav Halak, which probably means, folks, if you've listened this long, probably not going to play McDavid if I'm predicting. Well, you know what? He could get 6 shots, but at 3 points, it's not worth it. I'm calling Yaroslav Halak. I think Boston's going to come out angry as they continue to get stomped by Calgary tonight. And Yaroslav Halak, like I said, is the better goaltender this year. So maybe that's why they're playing him against Edmonton to guarantee that win, because Halak Rask has been terrible. So they're like, let's play the good goalie against a bad team and get that win. You know what? Halak for the shutout. Sorry, McDavid. You're going to get some shots, but no goals.
No, give me Vasilevsky. Tampa Bay going up against Detroit. I think he's got just as good a shot as any to post that goose egg. And I don't think he's going to see a whole lot of shots. He may only see somewhere in the range of, say, 23, 24, 25 shots tomorrow. So I don't mind that call at all. With that being said, that's it, man. That's the game. That's the slate. Nine game main slate. Could be some pretty high lineup scores posted here tomorrow. You're playing in any kind of a GPP, man. I think you got to be upwards of 35 points to cash. And any kind of a sizable GPP, I would say anything 700 people or more, you're going to need 35 points or more to even hit that min cash line. Your cash game lines, man, you're going to need it 31, 32 points probably to hit your cash line. Your cash games, I would say there's points here tomorrow on this slate. There's teams to be played. There's some teams we need to dig into a little more, like the Colorado-New Jersey game. I think we need more attention there. I definitely got to give some more attention to the Philadelphia-Columbus game. Tampa's all one-sided. I like Winnipeg game that's one-sided. Chicago's one-sided. Boston and Edmonton, I think it's one-sided other than McDavid. I think he's almost like a cash game lock. Islanders, Los Angeles. Maybe take a shot on one of the goalies, but I'm not going to play any of the forwards there. Maybe a one-off defenseman, that would be it. The Buffalo-San Jose game, man, I like that for a game stack, and I like that late hammer. Even in the main slate, I wouldn't stay away from this game. I'd give it some attention. But other than that, man, that's how I'm breaking the slate down. That's what I'm looking at. Don't lock yourself into one goalie. There's a couple different goalie plays here. Don't lock yourself into one team. There's a few different teams here you could play that all could put up points here. So we're gonna see some teams put up 6 goals or more themselves tomorrow. Give me an overall rundown, Jared, then we'll get out of here. Thanks, Mitch.
I'm like you here. I think the GPP is probably going to have 65, 70 points for the win. On hitting that lucky draw. Some reason they're still playing a bunch of one-offs that actually hit. But Buffalo, San Jose, I don't like the Buffalo, San Jose under a main slate lineup. I'm hesitant towards that. I'm hesitant towards the Islanders Kings game. Arizona, Chicago, I'm hesitant towards in the main slate. And Vancouver, Winnipeg, I'm a little hesitant towards that. I agree with you on pretty much everything else. Colorado against the Devils. I'm finding it hard to go against the Devils, anymore. They were able to shut down Mitch's Dallas team the other night, so it's hard to, get on the Colorado against that team that's just put the hammer down. Hey, you know what? That comes from the Penguins organization right there, right? Ray Shero and John Hines coming across from the Penguins organization to get them going there. So, yeah, I like that Pitt Toronto stacks there. I like Philly, Columbus, and like you said, I'm actually going to, now that I've talked myself into it, I think Boston comes out real hungry tomorrow, and I might be high on Boston.
Yeah, I think Boston is going to be your pivot stack to get away from Tampa Bay a little bit in your larger field GPPs, and to even get away from Toronto, because I think your chalk is Tampa. And then when you move away from Tampa, I think your chalk will then go towards that Toronto-Pittsburgh game. So if you go Tampa, as far as chalk stacks go, we go Tampa 1, we go Toronto 2. I think you got to take, maybe not Pittsburgh at 3. It could be Jersey at 3. Boston is probably a top 5 owned stack, but I think it's at the bottom end of that 5. I think you're looking at more like a 5th, maybe a 4th top owned stack, something like that as far as Boston goes. I like the Boston call. They're definitely in play. Definitely in play for me. But I think that's all we got, man. Everybody, thanks for watching. We appreciate it. Give us a thumbs up. Give us a like. Let us a comment. Give us some of your picks, man. If you got a nice, high value, low dollar pick, man, we definitely want to hear it. We'll play them. We don't hold back. We're not just here giving out picks. We're giving our opinions, man, and we're more than willing to listen to everybody else's opinions. It's good to see a lot of returning viewers here. We appreciate that. Mitch, he's with us pretty much every night. We appreciate that. Always chatting with us here in the live chat as we go through it. And a lot of plays, guys. So pay attention to everything that's going on. Pay attention to goalies. Try to stay up to date on any goalie information or any kind of scratches that go on throughout the day. And, Jared, you got anything else, man? If not, we can get up out of here and everybody can build their lineups. And best of luck to everyone.
Hey, sir. Time for the fun stuff, and we'll see everyone tomorrow.
All right, guys, we'll be back again tomorrow for another slate breakdown. Hope to see you then. We'll try to get it out a little bit earlier. I apologize for that. It's all me. I had a late day at work here. So with that being said, thanks for watching. Give us a thumbs up. Give us the like. Let a comment. Share our video with your friends, and we'll see everybody tomorrow.